Good afternoon, everybody. So this morning, this early afternoon, whatever you'd like to call it, I have had on my mind, I have had for quite a few days, what I would have done differently, or if I would have done nothing differently, when I picked out my first Goldendoodle. Now, I had been thinking about getting one for at least 3.5 years. Because a lady at my church, a friend of mine, had gotten one, and she was coming to church every week telling me all these things that this dog did, and it was so cute. But the doodle she had was part poodle and big poodle, and I'd been wanting a big poodle, so I didn't know if I should completely do a 180 off of whatever kind of dogs I always got and get a poodle, a standard poodle. Because I was looking to find something that was either very low shedding or non-shedding, and I didn't know much back then, so I thought it'd be okay to just get a poodle, and then I'd have a big dog, because I like big dogs. But anyway, so my friend at church, she had told me, if you ever get one, get your dog from these people. And that lady was a foster parent, and she had a big old house, and she raised puppies off of her female house dog, I think once a year or every other year. She had a waiting list. It was really hard to get it was hard to get a dog from her. And I had heard of a very few other people that sold doodles. But since I had Trish's, I had so much respect for her and her opinion, I decided to wait and get a doodle from that lady if I could get one. So I kind of was messaging her back and forth on Facebook Messenger, because I was on Facebook back then, and was asking her what the process was. And she said she wasn't going to have any puppies coming for a while, but when she did, she would let me know. So I was told then that she took a $500 deposit, and then you pay the balance when you picked up your puppy. And I had never paid as much for a dog as what I paid for Roxie. But at this point, I just wanted one, and I felt like I was paying for knowing that it came from a good breeder, a good person. And she had all these foster kids that helped her with the dogs and handled them and all that. And so when the time came, I put down the first deposit. So she told me I got first pick because of that. Now, that I feel like I did was all a good decision. And then on her Facebook, she would always post pictures of every little event that happened with everybody playing with the puppies, and past dogs she had sold to people, and she'd get on there and ask anybody if they had one of her doodles and what they thought of it. And there'd be people that had a dog 3 or 4 years previous that had nothing but good things to say. And I don't think that she would have worked around and cheated on her reviews, because she's just a foster parent that lives in her city, an hour or so from me. Okay, so back to what I would have done different. Let me know she was in labor, and then she had Roxie, and she took a picture of her. I didn't know that was going to be Roxie, but I knew it later on. But she took a picture of her when she's still even wet. That was all good. And then she kept them in her bathroom that adjoined her bedroom, so that she could be like a hospital nurse and watch over these puppies. And she really watched over them. I mean, she worried over everything. She took them to the vet all the time. She was in constant contact with her vet, all the things you should do. But what I would have done differently, I'd never bought a dog like that. I didn't ask her anything about if they were DNA tested. Turns out it didn't matter, but I'd never heard of that. I did not go to the house to see the puppies myself. I just had her to FaceTime me the litter. And I wanted a really big doodle, because apparently most of the time you can only get a male that's as big. I didn't care if it weighed 100 pounds. I wanted a big doodle. And she told me that mostly all you can get on that is the males. And I definitely didn't want a male, because I had still my 3 English bulldogs. They were getting old, but I and that's one reason I was deciding to get another dog, because two of my three English bulldogs were males, and they mark everything. I don't care what I did all my life. If I've had a male, that's happened, and I was worn out from running around behind them with vinegar water. So that's why I didn't do that. But anyway, I hope I'm not running out of footage too soon, but I would have gone straight to the breeder's house, and I would have physically picked a puppy. And why is because when I picked Roxie up after, it's time to get her at eight weeks old, there were a whole lot of different puppies that were in there that could have been bigger. I think they were female, and they would have been a lot bigger. So that's one thing I feel like I should have done differently. And another thing I would have done differently is I would have gone and visited with the puppy, with Roxie, all through the time that she was growing up to get old enough to come to me. Now, again, when she came home from there, she was so well housebroken already that it was just, all I had to do was worry about getting up and getting her outside. I mean, she barked when she wanted to go out. She fetched. Some of these little video clips I'm sharing just to have something to look at while you're listening to me. I mean, she fetched. She did everything. She played. She did whine a little bit, but she didn't do it very much. And I know that now that if you just put something in the crate with them, that a lot of times they'll bond to that little puppy because they miss their litter. And I just would put her in bed with me, but she was in a crate. And then another thing that I would have done is I would have asked her more about the male. She doesn't own her male. She gets a male, and I'm assuming now she DNA tests the male because she retired Roxie's mom, and she now works. Roxie's mom works as a service dog in the orphanage in their town, or it's not called an orphanage. It's called a foster children's home. And the lady that bred Roxie works there too, I guess, and she takes Honey with her to work every day. But so I would have done that. I would have asked more about the male. I would have wanted to see pictures of the male. I met Honey, and I knew quite a bit about their history, where she had another dog that was her house dog, but the neighbors caught it out there running around one day and shot it with a BB gun, and they never knew because they couldn't see anything through all that hair. And she ended up getting an infection in her shoulder. They didn't know she had cancer or what at first, and then when they did surgery, they found the pellets in her shoulder, and they ended up having to have her put down because your front shoulder on a dog and all that infection and all that, it was going to be hard to cure it, and it also is hard for them to do anything, walk with no front legs, even though I know some people do it. But she had a lot of foster kids to take care of and stuff, so I get it. But I would have done that different. I would have asked a lot more questions. But at the end of the day, I did not regret anything about Roxie. She is awesome. I've said that over and over again. She is like an old lady now, and I didn't even realize it. She's not even 4 years old, but with her being around these puppies I've got that's right at 9 months old, she just lays around and she's calm and everything. And she doesn't want to play and run and rip all the time, but she does with them some, but she's also like a lap dog, so I love having her with me, and letting them do their thing. And then I love on the puppies, and then they go on, But so when I got the puppies, I did things just a little bit different there. And on the second video, I'll talk about that. So this at the end of this video about Roxie, I just want to say those are the things that I would have done differently. I can't think of a thing that the breeder did wrong. She was very, very super attentive to us. She sent us constant videos and pictures of Roxie when she played, ate, went to the vet and everything. So I feel like I chose wisely, but I think I should have went to see her physically to pick her. Now that I know her, I'm glad I picked her, but I would have got a bigger dog maybe if I had have seen how big a lot of them were. So, and I think the reason that happened that way is because Erin actually couldn't remember who wanted what kind of dog, because she just had everybody coming at her at one time. And because she'd hold up 2 dogs sometimes in these pictures. She said, I can't remember which one you picked. And I'd tell her, that was right at first, though. She knew after that because she was keeping notes, I'm sure. But anyway, I don't want to make this any longer than it is. If I happen to think of anything else, I'll put it on video number 2 about the Doodle puppies, the girls, the 2 girls that I just got in December. So thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. You're watching my videos, you're subscribing. But I'd love to have a lot more subscribers, a lot more views. If you know anybody that wants to know about doodles, they can watch mine, because all I'm doing is entertaining people. I'm not an expert. I'm not a vet. I don't know anything to give any advice about. I'm just giving you my experiences until the 2 girls, Bougie and Paris, get over 2 years old so they can have puppies if they pass their arthritis testing, which will be coming up at 1 year old. Thank you again for watching. Bye.